you need to save money? Why is money so important? And then another question is, why do Jews always sort of have a good relationship with money? Insert racial stereotype right here. Thank you, guys. But it's because they teach their children about money. Could it be that financial education, could it be that education, could it be that raising your kids the right way, having values and principles and a code of conduct and ethics, dare I say, can help you do better in life, whether it's with family, whether it's in friends, whether it's in business, whether it's with your health, or yes, with your money. So here is our good friend, Matt Sapala, the money smart guy. We mentioned him earlier, one of Patrick Bet-David's top producers at PHP, interviewing a rabbi about powerful Jewish money traditions. Go ahead and press play.
Give children Hanukkah, we start educating children about money. The gift we like to give children on Hanukkah is money, and we also accompany that with discussions of what money is and what it's about and what you have to. And now you have to, divide your money into three. One part is for charity, one part is for you to spend on things you need, the other part is to put away and save. So yeah, Hanukkah is the money time of the year for us. It's passing on to the next generation the principles of money that are so important. What we do is we give children.
Whose advice do you want? Do you want this guy's advice or the last guy that we spoke to, who basically says, spend all your money, live for today? No, life is about balance. You notice the rabbi that was being interviewed by Matt Sapala didn't say, save all your money.
Right.
Just like the other guy said, spend all your money. He said there's actually three things you can do with your money, which reminded me of something that I remember when I started teaching financial classes called the 50-30-20 rule of money. It's not binary. It's like, should you save it all or spend it all? No, you divvy it up. Now, the 50-30-20 rule of budgeting basically says the following. 50% should go to your needs, 30% can go to your wants, and 20% can go to your savings and your financial future. So what are your needs? 50%. Housing, transportation, food, groceries, healthcare, utilities, insurance. These are things that qualify as needs. I need these things.
Right.
I need a roof over my head. I need to have a transportation to get to where I got to go. I got to eat. I got to live. I got to have insurance. Some people are saying, I don't know about the insurance. But these are things you got to do. Then, much like our good spender friend, this is where you can spend some of your money. Have a little fun in life. Whether it's takeout dinners, concerts, cocktails with friends, or some new throw pillows. We got to have those new throw pillows, Nat.
Your pillows.
What are we going to do with them throw pillows?
You need some new throw pillows.
I guess it is. Or fun tech gadgets. God, it's kind of corny here, but we got to find those throw pillows. I mean, we got to find them.
Yeah.
Are they needs and wants? I would argue that they're needs. We got to get those. But there's that. But then 20% goes to your finances.
Yep.
Whether that's paying down debt, whether that's saving that money, whether that's investing. There's rules to this game. It's not a binary thing, just like how sort of the LGBTQ community is trying to make gender into a non-binary thing. It's the same thing with money. It's not save or spend, it's budget. Oh my God, what a word. Budget. They say that 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, but also, correlation, 2/3 of Americans don't do a budget every month. I wonder if there's a correlation right there.
That makes sense.
So you got to find a happy medium. They say, so why should you save this money? Why should you have a financial future? Life is short, live for today. Well, life is short? No. Life is actually pretty long.
Yeah.
People are living longer than ever these days. Now, can life be taken away from you at any moment? Yes. So life is not short, life is precious. But the reality is this, if the average person watching this podcast right now is 25, 30, 35 years old, here's the reality. There's a 99% chance you're going to live until 80, 90, 100. And as you get older and healthier in technology and healthcare, people are living longer. I mean, how old are your parents?
They're in their 50s into 60s.
How old, you have grandparents?
My grandparent just passed away, my last grandparent.
Okay.
He lived until he was 98.
98.
98.
98. I have a grandma, 93.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Doing her thing. I have
It was
another
on my
grandma,
birthday.
97.
Yeah.
How old are your grandparents?
80s.
80s.
80s. Yeah.
Jake, how old are your grandparents? 88 and 100. Okay, 100.
100.
Ding, 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 100.
100.
So those are
Wow.
old people right now. What do you think you're going to be?
When you're older. I think I'll make it
people
to
are living longer.
I think I can make it to 100.
So why do you need money? Save that money? Because life is long. You know, they said Social Security kicked in at 62 or 65. It was never supposed to be a retirement plan.
Yeah.
It was because life expectancy
Was short.
was basically 67 at that time.
Yeah.
So you were expected to live 3 to 5 years. Oh, you're dead, and then that's what happens.
Yep.
And now there's a whole push where we got to extend Social Security because Social Security is going broke.
Yep.
Because people are living longer. Some people retire at 65. They die at 95. That's 30 years
They need money.
collecting Social Security, living on the government plan.
Yikes.
That's sometimes people. That's like working from 20 to 50. Unbelievable. So is life short? No, life is long. And I started doing this content because I was at a insurance conference back in the day, and I remember they were basically saying that millennials are going to be broke.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on, what do you mean? Why are the millennials going to be broke?
Scared.
And I was the youngest person in the room. This was 8 years ago. I'm a millennial. I'm the oldest millennial. And everyone in the office, hold on, was MPS, male, pale, and stale at this big conference. All these silver-haired white guys. Respect to you guys. I love you, but you're a little bit older.
Male, pale,
And they were
stale.
all talking about baby boomers and what they were doing for retirement. And they were like, yeah, don't worry about the millennials. They're screwed. And I was like, well, what do you mean? What are we going to do about it? And they all like literally laughed. And they were like, what are we going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, buddy? And I was like fired up. I was like, oh my God, I gotta save millennials. I gotta save that money. I gotta save this generation. So I really learned how long people are living and longevity because I'm in the insurance markets and the life expectancy markets and longevity markets. It's like, holy shit, millennials gotta save that freaking money, not being like that last idiot who said, spend a check and get it. Right? Can we just play that video just one time of the guy at the rap concert, Alejandra? Like the guy that I was interviewing? Can we just play that? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. This is the type of thing that motivated me to start doing this entire podcast. You have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the video
Okay,
here.
play that real quick. And then I'll get into why you need to save that money. Go ahead.
Hit the first one.
All right, you ready? Quick question. Spend that money or save that money?
Nigga, you spend that shit. You don't save shit, nigga.
He didn't even think about it. He just spending it.
Hey, hold on. Spend the
Okay.
check and get it right back.
All right.
Yeah.
Spend the check. Thank you. So that's the kind of thing. Those are the types of interviews. By the way, I did hundreds of those interviews. I was like, oh my God, these mother. What are they? Nat, you've been to Rolling Loud.
Yes.
It's, by the way, it's not even Rolling Loud. This is not
just
single
in
out any single
general.
concert, any type of people. It's white, black, up, Latino, Asian. They all got this problem.
Yeah.
So, this weekend, my Sundays I kind of dedicate to surveying the news. Like the Sundays are my days. I'll work out a little bit, I'll read a little bit, I'll watch the news. And I saw this article on one of my favorite shows, Fareed Zakaria, and the author of this book, The Longevity Imperative, was on the show. We can move that away from now. So the Longevity Imperative, how to navigate our increasingly longer lives. So in the interview, the author was called Andrew Scott. By the way, can we make sure that I get his name right? So
Andrew
people want to look
Scott.
into this book.
Andrew J. Scott.
Andrew.
You want me to show the book again?
Yeah, if you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Andrew J. Scott.
Andrew J. Scott, not to be confused with Michael J. Scott from The Office. Don't be confused with that. Andrew Scott, the Longevity Imperative. But they talked about the 3 big disruptors that that we should be worried about that is going to change society. Number 1 is climate change. They talked about that. Whether you agree with that or not, we'll see what happens. Number 2 was AI and what's going to happen with that. And number 3 was the fact that people are living longer than ever and the longevity of an aging population. Look at this graph right here. I'm not sure if you can hit it with or pause it with before you press play. Yeah, it's it. So in 1960, the average person was expected to live to 75.
75.
If you go back to that graph. In 18, I think it was, yeah. At the turn of the century, 1900, people were dropping dead at 55 years old.
Wow.
55 years old. At 1900, I remember like everyone here was born after 2000. I remember when 2000 Y2K was like, oh my God, it's millennial. It's crazy what's happening right now.
Yeah.
100 years before that, people were dropping dead at 55. What? Okay. Then after World War II, the world was a little bit calmer. Now we're in the mid 50s. People were living into 65, 70. Wow. But if you look all the way to the right of the chart, dude, it is skyrocketing. You see, like it almost looks like a stock market graph. It's going kind of going up and down and up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
And then it just skyrockets after 1980. Modern technology, modern medicine is just making people live longer. So the compiled best practice life expectancy is now 85 years old. That's the average. Imagine if you take care of yourself. Imagine. This guy said his
100.
grandparents
His great
100.
uncle.
You said your grandparents 80s. I got grandparents in their 90s.
98.
You know?
Was my grandpa. Yeah.
Joe Biden, 137 years old, maybe running for.
Take him out.
People are living longer. Here's some key takeaways from this interview where they talked about the disruptive forces of society, climate change, AI, but the longevity that you need to focus on. Here's where you should be focusing on 3 big things. And by the way, before I play this, you might be like, dude, I'm 20 years old. Dude, I'm 30 years old. Dude, I'm 40. Yeah, you got parents. Yeah, you got grandparents. Because if they don't understand about saving that money, you're going to be having to pay for them.
Yep.
So here's this guy at 240 giving the 3 things you need to focus on.
But really, I think we've got to focus on 3 things. We already have long lives. We've got to make them healthier for longer. You've got to make sure you're healthy for as long as possible. And we've got to finance a longer life, which means you're going to have to be earning for longer.
Bingo.
So that has big implications about your career.
Longer lives, we just talked about that. You need to be healthier for a longer life. We know about being healthy, but you need to be able to finance a longer life. So that's very important. The whole concept here is the fake guru said, spend all your money. Yeah, you're going to need the money throughout your life. Here's sort of the culmination of this interview at 326 where he basically says, listen, here's the freaking bottom line. Go ahead.
Your 60s, you're going to stop working and you're going to die when you're 95.
This is Fareed
That's
Zakaria.
30 years.
30 years.
You have to be able to pay the bills.
Now, this is the bit where everyone doesn't like what I have to say because it's
Say it
great to
anyway.
hey, you can live longer and you can be healthier for longer. But if you don't want to see a fall in your standard of living, you've got to produce more over your lifetime. And I think unless AI comes along and makes us all much more
There you go, right
productive
there.
and
You're going to have to
solves the
produce
problem,
more over
it
your
means you have to
lifetime.
work
I talk to people on the Connect app, or I talk to people out there. They're like, bro, I want to retire by 40, bro. I want to make as much money. I want to retire by 50. Bro, you're not retiring anytime soon. Anytime soon. And there's actually data that says that people that retire before they're supposed to retire end up getting bored and dying earlier.
Oh.
You need to stay busy. You need to stay active. There's 2 4-letter words that are my favorite 4-letter words, and then it's not that. It's work and earn. Work gives you meaning. Earning gives you meaning. No matter what you're doing, you're going to have to work and earn it. How to navigate our increasingly longer lives? Work and earn. Not spend a check and get it right back. There's that right there. It's a little food for thought. Now, we were doing the podcast the other day, and PBD told this story. I didn't find that one, but I found where he basically talked about this, about, you're young now, but soon enough, you're going to be old. Your parents were once young when they had you.
Yeah.
And now look at them now. Your grandparents were young at one point when they had your parents, but look at them now. And PBD tells a story about why you Gen Z and why you millennials out there, you young wolves out there, you young wolves of Wall Streets or all streets out there, why the young wolf needs to take care of the old wolf. Go ahead and play this video, 1.25.
I went to a concert one time back in 2015. And this guy named Dariush, my brother-in-law, took me. I've told this story many
Amazing
times.
singer.
He gets up at the end and says, I want to talk to all the younger audience here. Here's what I want to tell you. He says, I see the eyes. I see your fire. I see you guys are so excited about life. He says, I remember when I was young and so ambitious and I had the wolf in me, right? He said, just remember this. Make sure the young wolf in you takes care of the old wolf that one day you will be. Again, make sure the young wolf in you takes care of the old wolf that you one day will.
Okay, so it turns out this guy, PBD, I don't know, turns out he kind of knows what he's talking about.
Kind of, sort of.
So whether you want to call it make sure that the young wolf takes care of the old wolf, whether you want to say, hey, save for a rainy day, whether you want to say, save that money, there's certain things that you need to abide by. Now, here's some a little advice for my friends out there. You know, they say keeping up with the Joneses. Who are the Joneses? So there's certain things you should also avoid as you start to make more money. There's something called lifestyle creep. The more you make, the more nice things that you want to get, the more money you're going to spend, the more that you run out of money, the more, the harder you have to work, the more that you're going to have to get a raise. And it's the vicious cycle. It's called the rat race. There's a lot of creeps out there, but nothing will ruin your money more than lifestyle creep. All right, so you're making 50. Now you're making 65. All right, I'm going to get a nicer car. All right, cool. So now your car is more expensive, but you still have the same amount of money in the bank. Oh, shit, you were making 100. Now you're making 200. Bruh, I got to go get the sickest car out there. I'm going to move into not a 1-bedroom anymore. I'm going to go get a 3-bedroom. Baller. And what happens is the more you make, the more you think I deserve all these nice things. I work my ass off. So here's what I would tell you. If you're starting to make more money, give it a year. Give it 1 year of just stacking cash. I did this. I remember the first time that I closed a big deal. And I'm talking a big deal. I mean, I made 6 figures in one paycheck. You know what I bought?
What?
A property.
1 new suit. I just bought 1 new suit. Cost me about, I don't know, $1,000. So $99,000 just went in the bank. Okay? Now, what I realized was I'm so thankful that I did that because I don't make $100,000 checks every quarter or even every year. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Now, in business, what I tell people is call me with any deal you got. I'll work on a single, I'll work on a double, I'll work on a triple, I'll work on a home run, and eventually I'll hit a grand slam. What I would consider a grand slam is making $100,000 in one check. But sometimes checks are $3,000. Sometimes they're $5,000. Sometimes they're $10,000. Sometimes they're $20,000. I've had all types of checks. But what I did is that big ass check, you know what I did with it? Nothing. I bought a suit so I can look good at the next meeting that was coming up. I look my best, feel your best, act your best. But all of a sudden that money was helping the young wolf prepare for this old wolf when I retire. But those are the types of habits that you develop over time, and that's a relationship with money. Now, you might be like, dude, I'm never going to have a $100,000 check in my life. Well, you're going to have a big check in your life. Maybe a big check to you is $5,000. Maybe a big check to you is $10,000. Maybe a big check to you is $50,000. Whatever it is, what I would not do is just go ball out in the club like I see all too often in Miami.
Yeah.
That's sort of a proponent of lifestyle creep. Bro, I'm making more money. I'm going to go get into some new shit. I'm going to buy a nicer watch. I'm going to have a nicer car. I'm going to have a nicer crib. I'm going to spend all my money on nicer shit. Next thing you know, you're in the exact same position and the exact same amount in your bank account. So just pay attention to these creeps out there, especially lifestyle creep. Couple things to take advantage of, or a couple things to avoid. Cars, clothes, jewelry. We talked about that. Houses, partying, the wrong women. These are some of the things to avoid. Will Smith, we're going to talk about throughout this episode. A part of lifestyle creep, keeping up with the Joneses. Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. That's the biggest thing to me, is the impressing the people as if you think that is going to what's make you happy. So save that money. Be like that rabbi. Be like the money smart guy, Matt Sapala. Be like PBD, respecting the old wolf and being the young wolf and being the young hustler and not being an absolute creep. Save that money. So we're halfway through, and these stories we're going to do a little rapid fire right now, Nat. Okay? How you feeling, Nat?
I'm feeling good. I think we hit some really good points when it comes to saving money and, specific points in your life. I think through that process of going from that young wolf, I think there's a lot of training and discipline. And I think also in today's time, it's very hard to save your money in a place where you're watching everybody spend their money. I think, also being surrounded by people who are in that mindset of saving money will help you kind of do that. But stay strong out there, everybody. It's hard to save your money in an economy in a time where everyone's spending it and you feel like you need it. So,
Especially with social media, I feel
Especially
like everyone is just
Oh, the
encompassing
social
spending.
media.
and here's the thing, though. A lot of the time, you see the influencers that you follow, you think they're spending their money when essentially they're actually getting paid
Exactly.
to look like they're
Oh.
spending money. So
Now,
don't
even
get
with
it
your
twisted.
friends,
Yeah.
because you see your friends doing something on Instagram, and then you want to do the same thing, and they spend money, so you want to follow, and you just spend money as well.
Yep.
I feel like
Yeah, there's something called money dysmorphia, and Gen Z and
Yeah.
millennials have, I think, 45% of them.
Definitely.
Basically, they have a very wrong relationship with money. They see it, they think they can spend it. All their friends are doing it, and they don't realize, oh my God, I'm racking up debt. Oh my God, I actually don't have this amount in savings.
Yep.
Oh my God, I have nothing saved for retirement. But wow, that trip to Vegas last summer was worth it. All right.
they don't
We'll see what
care
happens.
if they have the money. They just care to
Yeah.
show it on social media.
Yeah. I think it's
Because
actually,
if you didn't take a picture and put it on Instagram, did it really even happen?
and I think it's actually even worse with women because women also feel like they could probably operate without not having a lot of money because they get things paid for.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes women are like, "Oh, I don't have money, but I'm going on a trip. Like they'll pay for it." I'm like,
or they
"Who?
go out to a bar
Who's
and
gonna
they will
pay
be like,
for it?" And
Well,
so that mindset.
we're going to be discussing that
Yeah.
on Thursday's show
Oh yeah.
with the ladies.
Oh, we have a nice panel
talking
for you
money
guys.
and that. Bottom line is this, guys. Save that money. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you like that one, click right here to watch the full SOSCAST. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.